I love aligning myself with people that believe in a low tax lifestyle and are also very knowledgeable about how chemicals can cause illnesses. Because the more I can get the word out there, the better. And so I love finding people that really agree with all of the things that I try to teach in my practice. And today's interview is a perfect example of that. And we are talking about the importance of detoxing your gut with Steve Wiltshire. Steve Wiltshire has made fitness, health, and mindset a priority for 3 decades. Shortly after winning the Mr. Oregon bodybuilding competition, Steve developed an autoimmune disease that originated from a serious gut complication that almost ruined his health. Most everything Steve learned from experts, radical meal plans, and harsh chemicals and supplements compromised his gut health. 18 months after being diagnosed, Steve healed himself by following the philosophy and wellness practices taught by the Hippocrates Institute of Southern Florida. And for your information, the Hippocrates Health Institute offers immersive programs to nourish you completely in mind, body, and spirit, and to take the time to invest in your health and future. So through Steve's journey, he has developed a process that has led him to assisting thousands of people how to reclaim their health and power. Steve is a keynote speaker, author, and mindset coach, and founder of Body Temple Health and Wellness. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, T. Honored to be here tonight.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you be here with me too. I am in Buffalo, New York, as you know, and Steve is coming to us from Portland, Oregon.
Love the background, all the trees and the light and the beauty in the wood. It's beautiful.
Yes, we love to surround ourselves in plants in this house. More oxygen, more air, more clean air, right?
That's what you do.
That's right.
That's what you teach. That's what you help people with. Environment.
Absolutely. Plants are the best things. I talk to them all day long, but more about you than the plants today, for sure. And I love, we already gave the audience a little bit about your past and your story, which is phenomenal. But give us a little bit more, because I like to know where your roots grew, where your plants started, where your body formed, and what got you to where you are today.
I first of all want to say to your audience, what a profound conversation I had with Therese. I will never forget this as long as I live. Like, it was this passion of her work in the world and knowing who she is and how she's been led to help people. And that's why we're here. We're here to learn, and we're here to pay it forward. And I hung up the phone, and I was just awestruck, and I grabbed my journal, and I started to write down things. And what I know is I want to lead people to you, because you have so much insight on health and toxins and the understanding of helping people propel forward. I really want to just take a moment and acknowledge the work that you're doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel really good. So I appreciate that.
It's so true. It's so true. Well, gosh, I was a shy kid growing up. I had 2 brothers, and I like to say it like this. I was raised in a family of hares, H-A-R-E. They were always on the go, and I was kind of the slow one and the methodical one. And I was just kind of thought there was something strange about me, right, growing up. And but one thing that I did have is I had a lot of friends. And when I turned 18, my parents had lost everything. They were actually very fluent. They were in the crisis business, and they lost everything. And it was a blessing to me, because it happened my freshman year. And my mother taught me how to be a really strong entrepreneur. And so I started my journey in 18 years of age, wanting to get into something that got me in front of audiences to become comfortable. So I actually started in the direct sales network marketing world, and I fell in love with it, and ended up building a multi-million-dollar organization helping people get what they want. And it was a built-in self development industry. So I was constantly in front of high profile trainers. And then I tapped into leadership. And then I eventually hired a coach, and I became I wanted what she knew. It was like way before coaching became very popular in the late 90s. And I wanted those skills. And so I ended up going to a coaching certification institute. And through that, decided to write a book. And then I wrote a second book. And then I wrote a third book. And then I started a podcast, and then became a success trainer. I love helping people get what they want, and have been able to transition that into health and wellness after I got sick and developed this autoimmune, I call, condition. You understand what that means?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So that's a very interesting. And were you born and raised in Portland?
Yes, all my life.
Okay. I love it. Me too. Born and raised here in Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's great. So your roots are still where you are today.
Oh gosh, yes, they are.
I love it.
4 seasons. That's what we love.
4 seasons. That's right. Someday I'll get to Portland.
Yes, you will. You're gonna come visit us.
I know. I've always wanted to get.
We're gonna get you some clients in Portland, so you come and visit us.
All right, deal.
We'll help you.
Portland, I know we're getting off target here a little bit, but Portland to me has always been this city in my mind that is a healthy city. Am I correct in that?
You know, I told my mind, don't go here. Don't go here.
Oh gosh, okay.
Every time I have traveled, I've been in 48 states for seminars. I've done seminars and keynote speeches and conventions, but I love my seminars because they're usually about 100 to 700 people. And they will take me, the entrepreneurs that hire me will take me to these cities. And I've always realized like Portland is such a beautiful city. And in 18 and 19, one of the top 5 cities in the world to live in. And then COVID happened and things have changed here. But in that, my message is we all have choice. Right. I can move. We all have choice. We're always going to be dealing with some circumstantial power. And sometimes that's great. It's like winning the lottery, circumstantial power. But what we really want to focus on always is personal power. And I always think my bottom line is accept it, negotiate change, or get out. And so when we're at choice and we decide we're going to participate in personal power, that's when we become unshakable. It doesn't matter what the adversity is. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Portland, moving from Portland to your passion. How about that?
There you go. I'm in that.
There we go. What makes you, what's your number one passion? What are you so passionate about? Because I know there's a major one.
You rock, girl. You rock. I love to hold the belief in people's possibility until they see it in themselves. I was that guy. You know, what we often challenge through and get to the other side is often what we're here to teach. And I was so fortunate along my journey to be tucked under the wing of beautiful souls that helped me see my value. And so I love holding that belief in people until they see it in themselves. And I have watched so many people create, I'll say, their purpose, their passion, identify it and bring it forward in health, watching these people transform. I mean, people that have had 6 months to live that have gone far and beyond 7, 8, 10 years. Like, it's pretty incredible to see all the transformation. I love that.
So your passion is really helping people, obviously, but really seeing the end results of.
But people always, when I travel or I'm a curious guy, right? And so people always would say, what do you do? And I used to say, well, I'm a coach, I'm a keynote speaker. And for years, I've just said, I help people get what they want. I help them get whatever they want. They go, what do you mean help them get whatever they want? Well, whether they want an ideal relationship or they want to attract an ideal career, when they want to build a successful business, or they want to become their ideal version of health. I love helping them get what they want. Well, how do you do that? Well, I'm a coach and I do an environment, but it's I do love that. I just like it to be natural. It's kind of what I do.
And you have your own story, and you had to go through something to unfortunately suffer, and then even give you more power to help people, because you healed yourself from an autoimmune illness. And that is in itself quite remarkable. And tell us about what your
You're so good at
autoimmune
this.
illness
I've
was.
been interviewed so many times and I'm noticing you are really great at what you do. This is
Thanks, Steve.
one of your superhero powers. You know, I think we're in a time where we don't trust because there's so much inauthenticity in the world. And what I've learned is that people often believe what they believe. And our job is we need to do the research. I mean, I've everyone that's known me for 30 years, I have been known as the guy with ideal health. You know, even I don't tell the story very often, but when I was young, I had two brothers that were very athletic, and I was the one that wasn't. My dad could have been pro. He was a college pro. And he'd always say, "What's the matter with you? Why are you, I mean, are you my kid?" Like, I just was not athletic. And I was 26 years old. I was at a convention, went to a lot of them because I was as I was an entrepreneur. And I'll never forget this keynote speaker in front of 4,500 people looking at the audience. At the very end, it got a little noisy and she asked them for their full attention. And she said, "What's the one thing in your life that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of?" I wrote, "I hate my body." And I meant that. I wouldn't even take my shirt off by a pool or lights off when I was making love to my wife. I did not like my body. So I came home and made the decision I was going to transform my body. And I had a lot of limiting beliefs around that. You know, that's way before my coaching days. And so I went to my 10-year reunion and I started to completely shift. I stopped smoking. I drank coffee all day. I just didn't really know nutrition. And so I went that route for 30 years. And before I got sick, I thought everything that I was doing was absolutely ideal. Most everything that I learned from experts about these assertive, radical meal plans and these supplements that I just thought were, I thought all supplements were completely healthy. I didn't know supplements had chemicals in them, you know, bad me. And I just realized, you know, through that process that they can't sustain us as we get older. You know, they'll work for a period of time, especially those of you that are young, but I had no signs leading up to my illness. I remember being with my son. It just all happened one day. We're out eating vegan food and I got so bloated, and he looks at me, he's 12, and he's like, "Dude, what happened to your abs? Oh my God, they're gone." And then I just was like, "God, am I going to go? Should I go to the hospital?" I was so bloated and I didn't know what was happening to me. Every time after that I would eat or drink, I became bloated. I kept thinking, what am I manifesting? I'm obviously manifesting something. And the lab test that my doctor took was great. Like, my lab test came back completely, like, way above normal. And I was like, what am I manifesting? Well, Quinn's mom had already been on a 2-year journey of healing herself from 3rd stage breast cancer. No chemo, no radiation, no surgery. Oh. So she had already been down this path. And so and by the way, just what I loved how you talked about the Hippocrates Institute. You know a lot about that. So she had started this journey of learning everything from the Hippocrates Institute and practiced the philosophy in depth, like we're talking at 98%. So what she has taught everyone around her is that we actually have the capacity of reversing almost any health condition, especially if it's not to 4th stage. And 100% of everything she does is plant-based. She's a sprouter. I mean, wheatgrass intakes, enemas. She's 100% plant-based. And so I just started to follow that path. And after I started to follow that path, I was led to, I call them healers. They might be disguised as a naturopath, but they were healers. Doctors were no help to me, at least in this journey. And so I realized I had celiac disease. I had what Western medicine called celiac, but it was a very overgrown case of candida. And it took me 18 months to get past that, about $20,000. I remember, I'm just going to say to all of you, lab tests are number one. Every 6 months, you need lab tests, really intense, as much lab tests as you can get.
That would be blood work lab tests?
Blood work, yes. Okay. Blood work. And I'm talking about going to a naturopath, not what your insurance is going to cover. Excellent. And second, tapped into your body. I'm always surprised how many people will not know what had been going on. Like they weren't in alignment with mind, body, soul. We have to be tapped in. And so these doctors, like doctors don't talk about parasites. You know, basically what I had is this super crazy case of parasites, overgrown candida. And my gut was just contaminated. 14% of the population is dealing with parasites, millions of people. And they're contracted from chemicals and toxins that are in our food, processed food. They're in our water. They're in supplements. They're even in, of course, animal protein. Some of them can be passed through sexual contact. They make you tired. They it's crazy. I ended up I've been very, very healthy in everything that I put in my body for about 7 years now. And 2 years ago, I ended up getting parasites. And I had none of the signs except for I started to feel fatigued all the time. And I knew there was something up. Went to my doctor, had a test, nothing. Went to my naturopath, had a test. I don't know, different lab work, came back. I was positive with parasites. And so what is that about, Therese, right?
Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. Kissing your dog. That's one thing my naturopath said. Dogs can carry major parasites too. Parasites can wreak havoc inside your system and your gut, as you very well found that out through your autoimmune illness. Now, one thing that I wanted to go back to a little bit, because chemicals, of course, I always circle back to chemicals because I feel like those are such a major component of anybody that's suffering any type of illness. You really have to look at what you're putting in your body, whether it's in the form of supplements, whether it's in your meal plan, what you are feeding your body, and what is happening in your system when those chemicals go into your system. So that played a huge part in your autoimmune illness, correct?
Yeah, at one point I would say I was taking more supplements than I was even eating food. You know, wow. I would say 70% of my illness came from radical meal plans and supplements, and the other 30% came from stress. Now, I had studied stress up until that point. You know, I was kind of fake it till you make it, overbook my schedule, loved helping people. So this is a strong word, and I'm going to use it. We prostitute the energy we don't have. We have to continually restore and reboot ourselves in order to be helpful to other people. I was not that guy. I was modeled by my mother, who rocked life, but her health was constantly compromised. And I'll own that 30%. I didn't know that anxiety and depression can bring stress. In fact, it saddened my heart when I read about children that have depression or anxiety. They respond by saying, "Mommy, my stomach hurts." And so anxiety, depression I didn't have, but I had a lot of anxiety. And my story is, friends have been telling me for years, "You got to do a fitness show. You're in such great shape. You're getting old, man. You're going to be 45. Like, you've got to do a fitness show." And so I just couldn't even think of it, like all the traveling that I was doing at the time, and had way more clients than I really should have been coaching at that point. And so I just made this decision at 40, almost 45, that I thought, why not? I want to get in the best possible shape and mindset. So I decided to do a show, and then that led to doing Mr. Oregon bodybuilding show. And I got to tell you, I loved it. It was the only time in my life, and I'm always wanting to make a difference. And I want you to think about how many things that we do in our life that nobody has control over. No one had control over what I ate, whether I posed, practiced posing, whether I got in a cardio machine, whether I did meditation. And what I love about health is it's the thing that you can own, that nobody has control over. And so it's this very few things that we do in life are we not influenced by somebody else. So as a mindset coach, I love that time in my life that I was able to see the fruition. I didn't plan on winning. I didn't really care about winning. I just wanted to be in the best possible state of my life, health of my life. So I ended up competing in 2 shows and won multiple categories. And leading up to the Mr. Oregon bodybuilding show, both shows, I hired these experts. So I hired this like very reputable naturopath and trainer and poser. And I just kept on that plan, that $800 a month supplement plan for 2 years following my fitness show. And that's when my gut completely quit. I felt so naive. I couldn't believe that was happening to me. I was so sick. I didn't know that 93% of the supplements on the market had chemicals in them. I didn't know that 87% were disguised as owned by pharmaceutical drugs. I didn't know that food combining, that we've been taught, like think about, there's so many different countries that have different kinds of meal plans. And ours is like all about combining food, which really can't sustain you as you get older. I didn't know that there were harsh meal plans that like keto that were terrible for your kidney and your liver and your bladder and even your gallbladder, your thyroid. I didn't know any of that. And who the heck wants that? Like I started to think about everything that I had learned was wrong. And why would I want this to be my lifestyle moving into the later part of my life? Let's get real. Our health affects our relationships. I mean, if we want to be accountable, that's like our loved ones. We want to care about our health, our careers, our faith. I started questioning God. I was so miserable. I had an event in Vegas, a leadership retreat. It was thousands of dollars to put on. I had leaders flying in from all over the US and Canada and some like Australia and some of these other countries. It was a 5-star resort on the Strip. And I kept thinking, God, you got to help me get through this. It was like 14 weeks after I was diagnosed. I barely got through that. And that's when I started to realize, man, you have got to educate yourself on truth. Like what is the truth? So chemicals and aggressive meal plans were really the cause of my illness. Mm-hmm.
And the gut. We want to talk about that a little bit because I know that so many people don't understand that the gut, as you say, is the mind of the body and responsible for most of our overall health. And I agree with that. And the gut rules the body. The gut is so important. And I really feel like it's just starting to come out about how important our gut is to our overall health. So can you walk our listeners through that a little bit? Because Absolutely. I know you are so well versed in this, and it's just such a great topic for people to understand and to realize you can reverse your illness, and most of it comes through your gut.
Yeah, all disease starts below the waist.
Yeah.
The gut, which is your digestive tract, your small intestine usually is a big part of that, your colon. I am smiling right now because this time of this interview, like it's just a week ago that we completed our Kickstart Detox manual, 9 months of writing over and over and over and testing all of this out with our community, right? And all of you have access to it, and we'll lead you to it if you want to write this down. Or just remember, it's bodytemplekickstart.com, bodytemplekickstart.com, a complimentary part of our whole program. We started out mostly as a philanthropic movement. That's what we're all about. So I'm going to give you a few shocking statistics. 60% of bar-coded food sold in the US has toxins in it. That is a ton. Almost 42% of sweeteners, or gosh, 68% of bar-coded food products sold in the US contain added sweeteners. And those sweeteners have so much toxins in it. What you don't know is there's actually, you can make these awesome vegan desserts that have no sweeteners in them, or sugar, I should say, but natural sweeteners. And they also have essential oils, and they taste like excellent desserts. In fact, in the program, we have all of these recipes that are completely vegan. And after a while, you start realizing you crave this kind of food. It's our natural inclination to crave this kind of food. And there's 56 names disguised as sugar. It's just crazy. And so we even have a whole entire ebook that we provide called Toxic Ingredients and Chemicals to Avoid. And
17 pages of it, just so everybody knows.
You rock, girl.
And it's fabulous. Body Temple Toxic Ingredients to Avoid. I'm staring at it right here by Steve Wiltshire and Lynn Wiltshire.
It's your love, it's your passion, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Super cool. Yeah, so 90% of all diseases start below the waist, and millions of human beings are experiencing leaky gut. I didn't even know what it was, or they have some form of leaky gut. And it just basically means that you have these little tears or holes in your gut lining, which allow these tiny food particles to get in your bloodstream. And I remember just thinking when I learned this, how in the world did I not know this? Why didn't anybody tell me this? What should I have been doing? Because I've always been a rule follower. I mean, I hire coaches every year to work with, financial coaches and entrepreneur coaches. And so I was like, how in the world, what is my answer? What don't I want to do? I don't want to not feel good. Vitality is my favorite word. I want to feel like Betty White when I'm 94 years old, for God's sake, right? Because she rocks.
And look like her.
How did I get stuck with this? So my accountability is I work with people all the time that are going through severe health issues. And so when you are in front of people every day that are dealing with it, it is such strong accountability. I know the sickest country per capita is the US. It's pretty crazy. Oops, we have sun coming in here. That's a joke. That's a first for a while, right? Great for your video. So we're trained to think. Here's where I want to spend our time, just in answering this question. We are manipulated by a hierarchy, and we don't even realize it. It's part of our media. It's part of the pharmaceutical movement. It's part of these images of marketing. And we get to the weekend and we know, or we think, I deserve to drink. I deserve to drink. It's Friday and Saturday night. It's been a tough day. I deserve to go through the drive-thru and have that milkshake and that donut. And what you want at the end of the day is to feel powerful. What you want is you want to feel good. There's nothing better than clarity, right? And a habit is when the body becomes the mind. We spent a lot of time in this Kickstart. It's called our 15-day gut or Kickstart gut detox plan, talking about our serotonin and dopamine hormones, where they get you to react as part of your primal mind instead of operating from your frontal lobe. And so even those of you that might think your health is a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. Everyone is dealing with all these toxins. You know that. I'm talking to the pro. It's in our air. It's in our water. I mean, we talk a lot in this program about ideal water source. Like there is so much toxins in our normal water without you having a filtering system, and even the water that you're drinking, the water that you might be putting on your skin. I mean, we can go through all sorts of stages, but when you get sick, you go narrow. You start realizing everything that I do must be narrow if I want to live a life of vitality. Who wants to be in a state of illness for years, right? So studies of even chemicals in fish, like there is 60 to 120 chemicals in these case studies that they do throughout the year. And I started realizing, gosh, I had to find a real reliable fish source, and found that in Alaska. So we need to really create our own reality. And if you're listening and you're younger, and my son, who's been around this, he's 23, he's a vegan. He has a full-time, like amazing, well, I'll say could be a complicated job. He's in a couple bands. He will go from 6 a.m. to sometimes, 11 at night. He'll work 12 hours and then he'll go and practice with his band. But I know it's because everything he puts in his mind and his body and his soul is alkaline. And that's when you are able to really rock life. So when you make gut detoxing a consistent health practice, you're going to naturally release weight. You're going to increase your energy. You're going to elevate your vitality, your clarity. You'll improve your overall physiology, and we'll help you. In fact, we wanted to grab people with a topic. It's a great marketing name, 15-day
absolutely
detox plan, but it's really about you consistently doing it. As a man, when I was introduced to doing wheatgrass enemas and baking soda enemas, I was like, oh my God, you're kidding me. I can't do that. I remember this, healer. He was my third healer that really made it happen. He said, do you want to live? You got to get rid of that film, that bad bacteria. But I can't even tell you what it feels like to feel this fantastic at 57 years old.
Hip, hip, hooray. I'm just a little bit ahead of you. Not by much.
The whites of your eye, hello.
Right. And that's,
you can see your health in your eyes.
Yeah. And your health, your skin, your hair, you'll feel so much better. And I do a detox every few months, just my own method of detox, but I love the program.
I'm looking at your skin right now. Like your skin is.
Oh, thank you.
When you detox your gut, it glows, doesn't it?
Totally. Absolutely. Everything's from the gut.
Even your eyes, like you have no inflammation. It's easy to get inflammation when you're over 40 or even overweight, right? But it's fascinating when you start to detox your gut. You can see it in your eyes. You can see it like your inflammation. I mean, I used to do a little bit of Botox, going back. I don't have to do any of that. Like, I can't believe the lines have gone away,
Yeah.
Skin, it really shows up in your skin.
Eat healthy and your skin will be happy in addition to your gut, right? All your organs.
Yeah.
So you have a process you take your members through to substantially improve their health. Can you walk us through a little bit of that?
Yeah, let's highlight that.
Yes, that's important for people.
First of all, when I back up every day and leave my house, I've done this for years, 30 years. I say, you're going out in the world, you can help. You're going to look at people's name tags. You're going to say hello. You're going to smile. You're going to open up doors. You're going to pull out the best in people. And I stay curious. And often, like I said earlier in the beginning, people ask me what I do. And I say, I help people get what they want. I've been an entrepreneur coach for 20 years and have been able to help entrepreneurs create really successful businesses. They hire us for that. I have a program called the Protege Leadership, $1 Million Protege Leadership Program. Lots of coaches that work with our curriculums. And in all of that, they hire us to build an empire just to realize, oh, my marriage is getting better. My soul is getting better. My health is getting better, because it's all inclusive. Who we are in one area of our life often reflects in other areas of our life. And so I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, when health becomes your big game, everything will start to change for you. You have more clarity. You are easier, it's easier and natural to tap into your inner, I'll say your inner self, higher self, your creator, God, whatever you want to call it. You are guided so much better. And all this synchronicity starts to happen for you. I believe the problem with most people is they really don't know how to get from A to Z. The challenge that we have right now is we're overwhelmed with content. I get that people have ADD, but I never really, always have been able to focus. Last 5 years, I find myself really having to concentrate on it with just our network alone. We have all this crazy noise coming at us consistently. And so my intent is always to get people off the stands and into the court, playing life to their greatest capacity. And what I hold when I talked about belief earlier, thank you for asking me that question, Cherise, is that when we see people resourceful, resilient, capable, and whole, and we see modeling being our number one focus. By the way, the greatest attribute of a parent, without a shadow of a doubt, modeling costs nothing. Modeling doesn't take any energy. You don't have to fix. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to control. You don't have to enable. Modeling is really what it's all about. So I just really feel that often it's really about helping people figure it out and creating their version of an ideal plan. A confused mind says no. I love Tony Robbins. He talks about his SSS equation. The story that we tell ourselves is the story we manifest. It becomes our true north. And so sometimes it's so subtle. Sometimes it's in the mind or in the body, you get an emotion about thinking, could I have this? You're looking at other people that have what you want, and you're either getting to it through envy or aspiration, but it's something that you want. And what gets in the way of that is the story. What you want is to be in that state that they're in. And the strategy is what changes the story. So what I've realized is when we're able to diminish or identify the limiting beliefs that are holding people back from the potential, the capacity, the life that they're so worthy of living, and to help them create a strategy, whether it's making a marriage work, or whether it's taking their health to the next level, or whether it's healing themselves, people are able to get to that state. So the process that we use is very similar to what I've done with clients in my entrepreneur brand. And we see two pathways. I call it the front end and the back end. The front end is all your choices. Your life is a series of choices that got you to where you are today. Your past became your present, and your present becomes your future. So how do we create an environment and a platform for individuals to be powerful, to make decisions, love themselves through the process, realize it is a journey, bless and release poor choices. And on the back end are the wellness treatments that support us, the experts we hire, the support team that we create. So it's really about what's in our realm of control. And our philosophy is make a commitment you're ready for change. Together, we'll create your ideal wellness plan. We have that nailed. And I know that people need familiarity. They need to be familiar with and when I ask people what they've done, what did you used to do? What worked before? They have so much familiar evidence of times that they were making ideal choices. And then we're able to bring that into the plan, the customized plan. And third, how to shift your poor habits to ideal habits and notice your triggers. that's a big part of what you're going to learn when you go through this program, is that it's a complimentary program, the bodytemplekickstart.com, is you're going to realize we're all dealing with this hormone called dopamine and this memory. And up until that point in our life, we liked what we ate. We enjoyed what we drank. We enjoyed the decisions we were making until we changed the rules. And we change our rules, that's when it gets a little bit difficult. So we usually have three kinds of clients. We have people that are ready to up their game and take their health to the next level. And they have clients who are stuck and immobilized and they don't know where to go, don't know where to begin. And then we have people that are dealing with serious health issues and they need to go narrow for a while and they need help with that. Yeah.
Now, are these, you talk about three different types of clients. Are they in group programs? Are they in one-on-ones? Is this through the Body Temple too?
Good question. Yeah, we have all sorts of good question. Love that. You're great at what you do. We start off with a simple yes, and it's called our Take Charge of Your Health, Body and Mindset. That's what we're about. Health, Body and Mindset, customized coaching package. And they have access to a coach, 2 sessions. You know, people that have serious health issues always work with Lynn. She's one of the founders, my son's mom, and she has that whole process in place. That includes resources, it includes the template. The template is very, very powerful. And it's a 5-step process that we take them through to customize this in 2 sessions. And then after those 2 sessions, they have a taste of this experience. They can decide if they want to move on to what we call our Body Temple Ignite program. So we begin with just a simple, very highly discounted program, $197, 2 sessions, that's nothing. And the whole Ideal Wellness Plan, the resources, the library. So we help them come up with this first stage plan to experience wins immediately.
And can people enter into this program at any time, or are they slotted out?
Yeah, in fact, I'm glad you're bringing that up, because those of you that opt into the 15-day Kickstart detox plan, you'll hear from a coach. That's what we do. We have several. They reach out and say, hey, this is Coach Rama, and have been assigned to you. If you have any questions, reach out. We're here to help you. Also jump into the Body Temple community. It's an online community that we started back in May 1st. And all these coaches are involved. We answer questions from people. I just wanted to be different than what I noticed. I noticed that it's so difficult to get anybody on the phone anymore. You know, it's all support email. Questions aren't being answered. And we wanted to be that go-to place where people would actually have support and knew it was different than another experience that they've had in the past. So
Body Temple came to fruition back in May. Is that when that began?
Yes. Well, we started in 2018, but the community came to fruition in May. And so we started off with a program that we called our 14-day body reset program. It was phenomenal. And we started this online community back in May. And what happens when you enroll in the Body Temple Kickstart program, bodytemplekickstart.com, you'll see it in the show notes. You will be led to join the Body Temple community online if you would like to as well.
Online, is that Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And one of my favorite things, listening to you talk about all your clients and people that take part in your program, one of my favorite sayings, I keep this right on my computer, is let me just get my glasses on really quick. People don't know they don't feel bad until they feel better. And I bet you get that all the time. Again, people don't know they feel bad until they feel better. So, and I would imagine that's something that you see in the transition with a lot of people that go through your programs, right?
It's so subtle. You know, like a marriage over a period of years has gotten toxic or ignored, right? It's so subtle. Like I could find a real chemical-free gut detox, and one that wasn't harsh. Like I was traveling one day at the airport, and I'm going to just say it. I thought I was going to shit my pants at security. I had like left my luggage and ran. I'm ready to do a keynote message. And I'm like, it was so severe. And so I found this formulator that could make 100% chemical free gut detox formula. And every day I have a swirl. I mean, it's successful when hardly anything's on your tissue. I don't know any other way to say it, but
Right.
it's so amazing when you feel good. But you're right, you don't know it until you start to feel better.
Right.
Mhm.
So true. I mean, all of those chemicals and everything you're eating and everything you're putting on your body, in your body, you do not know until you get all that out of your system, how incredible your body can actually feel, how much better you sleep, how much better you are acting throughout the day. Your irritability probably will go down. There's just so many, it can
Oh,
go
it's
on
so
and on and
true.
on. Your allergies.
Mm.
So,
Allergies. People don't
oh,
even get it. Like if you
yeah,
chemical free your environment with tea, your allergies will go away. I know
yeah.
that 100% with so many people that have tried with children. They've tried shots, they've tried everything. When they got all the chemicals out of their environment, things
Yeah.
change. I'm going to do a plug for colonics because many of you don't even know what it is. It's kind of like going to a spa, actually. And for almost 11 months, I was almost 11 months. I went to colonics every 4 days and I would feel normal for 3 days until I figured out what was going on. I would get rid of all the toxins in my body. And especially if you're not eliminating your waste and you're dealing with like severe gut or digestion issues or bloating, like it's so a great place to start, even just one session. And then when you get the Kickstart detox manual, oh my gosh, it lays it out step by step. You're going to realize it's just like a journey. It's going to stay on it and copy, paste, improve, copy, paste, improve.
That's awesome. So we gave so much information out here to all of the listeners today, but tell us a little bit more about the complimentary program that you have for everybody.
Yeah, I think we've done pretty well there. It's
Yeah.
bottom line, it's called a 15-day Kickstart gut detox program. And the reason we've released it right before Thanksgiving is we know that people are going to have major triggers. And then January is going to roll around and you've gained 10 pounds, or you're not feeling good, you're having indigestion. And so we thought ideally we would launch this. And what's great about it is that within the process, you're going to realize there are actually 3 plans: a basic plan we give you, or a progressive plan, or for those of you that really want to go the extra mile or have severe health issues, the ideal plan. And it's all mapped out so that you can gradually work into this. And we have this thing called no guilt zone, how to learn to love ourselves through the journey. But it's all mapped out with vegan menus. Those 3 sections are: make a commitment, you're ready for change. We talk about the power of intention. And then the ideal wellness plan, which is the process we'll take you through. And then third, how to shift your poor habits to ideal habits. When you learn mindset, you're going to realize everything in your life is going to change. I'm serious. It is such powerful work to be able to witness yourself from a distance. I believe God gave us free will, which is scientific to the frontal lobe. And 40% of our brain is the frontal lobe. And when you're able to understand that you can actually witness yourself from the presence, like Wayne Dyer's work, for example, the late Wayne Dyer, amazing. You're able to watch yourself from a distance and just to notice. And so that's what that whole third section is all about. So it's pretty simple. Go to bodytemplekickstart.com and register for that. And then you'll see the video and you'll hear from a body temple coach, and we'll invite you to join the community. We'll answer any questions you have. And we're here to support you through the process. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And as Steve said, in the show notes, all of this information will be listed so you can find more information about the programs that they have to offer. And
There's so many
specifically,
lives, Therese, complimentary resources, interaction with coaches. We're all there. Like the file section is filled with resources in the Body Temple community on Facebook.
it's awesome. And how about your philanthropic movement?
Yeah, that's it. That's what we started right there. That's what we started. We decided that we would make that community 100% pay it forward, give back. Oh, there's so much good information there. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you have so much to offer. And I just
Hmm.
love what you're doing. I look forward to meeting Lynn and taking our relationships even further, because there's so much more we can do. And the beauty of it is we're across
Yes.
the country, and it doesn't matter because we can just do everything on the internet, which anybody listening here today, it doesn't matter where you are, that you can be a part of some of the programs, the fabulous programs they have to offer. So I really highly encourage you to look into some of the things that we spoke about today, that Steve is mentioning about the importance of detoxing your gut. Anything else you want to close with, Steve, or did we miss anything today? I know we could talk on for about 5
I
hours,
want to
but
just simply say, keep listening to T.
uh,
We had this incredible conversation about where she's headed and what she's got coming up. Keep coming back to this podcast because you're going to hear the truth. And if you want to live a life of vitality and own your choices because you know what move to make when, it's right here. Good work, my friend.
thank you. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste. Let us success.